Good evening, everybody. My name is Ryan Dumont. I'm here to lecture about new lawn growth and how you go about picking grass, whether it's seeding or sodding, and maintaining that grass after you've planted. I've been working on my lawn for the past 6 months. When I moved into my new house, the front lawn was sodded, the backyard was left blank, so I've been seeding it in the last 2 months during the spring season. A couple of things to consider when you're going into planting grass. You need to consider what type of grass is appropriate, whether it is Bermuda, St. Augustine, or like Kentucky bluegrass, as you see up here. It all depends on whether you're in a cool or a warm season area. Warm season areas in the southern states where it's especially hot. Your northern and central areas are where it's cool. That's where the Kentucky bluegrass is a better choice. It can live through those conditions and environment. And according to David Ballou, a landscape and garden writer for About.com, says that Kentucky bluegrass is the cool season grass, and these two, the Bermuda is a thin bladed grass, and your St. Augustine is a thick bladed grass, which is the difference between these two would be that St. Augustine is better for shaded areas versus your Bermuda would be better suited for grass that will be out in the sun like 90% of the time, collecting all of the rays of the sun and all the heat. This is a very drought tolerant grasses, both of them, but this one needs shade and that one's full sun. The other consideration you would like to think about is whether you're going to sod or seed. When you're sodding is a quick way to get grass, quality grass, really quickly, but it is the most expensive grass. Sod can take, it could cost you about $145 to $180 for a pallet of sod, which on a pallet of sod would be about 450 square feet. And the typical lawn size on a lot would be about 3,000 to 6,000 square feet. So if you've got the budget for sod, that's the way to go. It's quick, it's easy, and it's a little bit easier maintaining. You see the results faster. When you switch over to seeding, it's more cost effective. It takes seeding about 10 to 14 days before you see it sprout, though. It takes a little bit longer, but it is a lot cheaper. You can go pick up a bag of seed, say Bermuda, and you can get that. It covers about 5,000 square feet. That'll cover almost your whole lot. You want to double seed that, though, because once you've seeded the first time, you'll want to go back and seed again to make sure that you establish the seed. But you can get that bag of seed for about $20 to $22 at Home Depot, Walmart, Lowe's, any of those places that sell your lawn and garden supplies. You also, with seed, you'll have a lot more options. When the sod comes in, it's usually a seasonal item, and you can only get particular types of sod that's been grown. When you go into seed, you'll have a larger variety of the different types of grass you'll be able to grow. Once you've decided what type of grass better suits your environment, and you go on to decide whether you're going to seed or sod, the next step in the process is to look at your land, prepare the soil. Lawnmower.com says to clear the area first. You got to get rid of all vegetation, stumps, digs, rocks, all clear the soil. Next thing you want to do is turn the soil. Get a tiller from one of your rental shops. And once you've tilled up the soil, you want to add, if it's necessary, a soil conditioner. You can do that in the form of mulch. Mulch, or you can go out and get one of these sod conditioners that cost about almost $3 a bag. But you'll do that to not only help your soil absorb nutrients, but also to balance out your pH. And it's a good thing to check the pH level on your soil. It's usually between 6.0 and 7.5 pH level. Once you've turned the soil, you want to level the soil. If you're doing it up close to a house, you want to make sure your grades away from the house. That way the water doesn't collect up against your house and if the water flows out from your house. You'll do that by, after you've turned it, added your conditioners if necessary. You'll do that by using a roller. You'll rake it up, make sure your grade's right, and take a roller. But you want to do this while it's dry, because if it's wet, it could damage the quality of the soil. It'll compact it real hard, and the grass will have a less chance of developing long, deep roots. Once you've done that, it's time to lay the sod or seed. You'll lay your seed out. You'll take a few passes with your seed with a spreader, of any sort, push spreader or handheld spreader, and then you'll lay that down. If you're going to lay sod, you might want to get some tips from a local nursery for things to look out for when laying the sod. Once you've got that all laid down, lawn care comes in and maintenance comes into effect. You want to make sure that if you're laying seed, you keep the soil moist. It has to stay moist throughout the day. You recommend watering 1 to 2 times a day. If you're going sod, you want to make sure, excuse me, make sure you keep it watered at least twice a week, about 20 to 30 minutes in each area. According to humgardens.com, you want to, as far as fertilizers go, you want to make sure you don't fertilize or put weed control down on any new seed or sod, or it might damage the seed or sod or even kill it. You want to make sure you mow it at least 4 or 5 times before you lay any of these kind of conditioners down, fertilizers, and your weed control. And there's your fertilizers, all types you can get, weed control right there. And once you've done that, after about 4 or 5 mowings, you lay down your fertilizer, give it good food. You want to feed your lawn during the season while it's out of dormancy, during the spring and summer and autumn months, about 4 times a year, or every 4 to 6 weeks is recommended by True Green, which is a company that comes out and treats my lawn. Now that you know a couple of basics on how to get your lawn going, you'll be able to know the basics about how you pick out grass, pick whether you want seed or sod in your budget, how to maintain the grass. When you do that, you might have a lawn that comes out looking just like that.